I welcome you all in this video where you will learn about a very important topic of macroeconomics, balance of payments, which is also known as BOP. After watching this video, you will be able to understand the meaning of balance of payments and you will be able to explain the components of balance of payments. Balance of payment or BOP is an important term that we use in our discussion when we study macroeconomics. The balance of payments or BOP records all economic transactions in goods, services, and assets of the country with the rest of the world for a specified time period, usually a year. It systematically summarizes the economic transactions of an economy with the rest of the world, which will include the transactions between the resident and non-resident entities during a given period. So when we import the goods and services from some foreign nation, or when we are exporting some goods and services to the foreign nation, money is involved in that transaction, and that transaction is known as an economic transaction. Similarly, if we are buying some foreign assets, or if some foreign nationals are buying the assets in our country, that will be included in the balance of payments. So let us try to understand what balance of payments are and what are the different components of balance of payments. There are three major components of balance of payment, which includes current account, capital account, and financial account. All the transactions in the balance of payment statements are divided into these three categories. The different accounts within the BOP or balance of payments are distinguished according to the nature of the economic values provided and received under the double entry system of accounting in the balance of payments. Let us first understand what all transactions will come into the current account of the balance of payment. Current account transactions include transactions that affect the current level of income and consumption of the country during the current year, the year for which the balance of payment account is prepared. And it will include exports and imports of goods and services, which means whenever we are exporting the goods and services to the foreign nation, or whenever we are importing the goods and services from the foreign nation, all those transactions will be mentioned in the current account transactions of balance of payment. We export different goods and services to the foreign nations. For example, maybe commodity A we are exporting to America, commodity B we are exporting to Australia, commodity C we are exporting to Russia, and so on. For exporting these goods and services, we are receiving foreign exchange from these countries. So goods we are exporting, it is moving outside of the nation, whereas the foreign currency is coming to our country, is coming to our nation. Similarly, we are importing goods and services from the foreign nations. We may be importing oil, we may be importing technology, or maybe we are importing some other goods and services from these foreign nations, and in return, the foreign currency is moving out of the nation, because for buying these goods and services, we have to pay these countries in their own currency. So goods and services are coming to the nation, whereas the foreign currency is going out of the nation. Current account transactions will also include unilateral or unrequited receipts and payments like foreign aid, gifts, and donations. These unilateral transfers are known as unrequited receipts because residents of a country receive these for free. Nothing has to be paid in return at present or in future for these receipts. And these are also known as transfer payments. So unlike exports and imports, nothing has to be paid or received in return for these payments or these transfers. Let us now understand the debit and credit side in balance of payment. If a country has received money, this is known as a credit, and if a country has paid or given money, the transaction is counted as a debit. Let us now understand how the current account transactions in the balance of payment look like. So as we have understood, in the current account, we have goods, services, and transfers. So the first component of current account is merchandise, which are the physical goods which we are either exporting or importing from the outside world. So any receipts, cash, inflow, sources of foreign exchange will be recorded in the credit side of this account, and any payments, cash outflows, uses of foreign exchange we will mention in the debit side. So first component is merchandise, physical goods. Then we have invisibles, means services. So in these invisible, the first component is services, which will include travel services, transportation, insurance, government not included elsewhere, and miscellaneous services. The second component of invisibles is transfer, which will include all the official transfers and private transfers. And the third component is income, which is your investment income or which is the compensation to the employees. And if you add both these elements, merchandise and invisible, it will give you the total of current account. Coming to the credit and debit side, as I have already told you, that any receipt, any cash inflow or sources of foreign exchange will be mentioned on the credit side. For example, exports, money transfer to India, investment income of Indians from foreign assets. So these will be mentioned on the credit side, whereas imports, money transfer to abroad, investment income of foreigners from Indian assets will be mentioned on debit side. And the third column is net of these transactions. So if credit is greater than debit, it is known as surplus, whereas if credit is less than debit, it is known as the deficit in the current account. Capital transactions, on the other hand, are transactions that result in inflows and outflows of capital, and it includes foreign investments, both inflows and outflows, foreign borrowings and lendings, and banking transactions, both receipts and payments. These capital account transactions change the stock of capital of the country and thereby the production capacity of the country. And these capital transactions have long-term repercussions for the economy. The capital account comprises credit and debit transactions under non-produce, non-financial assets and capital transfers between residents and non-residents. Thus, acquisitions and disposals of non-produced, non-financial assets such as land sold to different embassies and sales of leases and licenses as well as transfers which are capital in nature are recorded under the capital account. So let us now understand how the capital account transactions in the balance of payment account look like. There are different components of the capital account. The first one being the foreign investment. So FDI in India is also recorded as well as FDI in abroad will also be recorded in the balance of payment account. The second subcomponent of foreign investment is portfolio investment. So when money is coming to India, it will also be recorded. And when money is going outside India, foreign exchange is moving abroad, that will also be recorded in this. And the combination of both these FDI and FPI will be foreign investment. The second major component is loan, which will include external assistance provided by India as well as external assistance provided to India. Same is the case with commercial borrowings. By India to India, both we will record, and short-term credit to India will be recorded in this major category of loans. The third major category is banking capital. In this, we talk about the assets and liabilities of commercial banks, of which non-resident deposits as well as other capital movement. The next category is rupee debt service, and then we have other capital. And if you combine all these five elements, it will make the sum total of your capital account. So, talking about the credit and debit side, any receipt, cash inflows, sources of foreign exchange, will be mentioned in the credit side, whereas any payments, any cash outflow, uses of foreign exchange will be mentioned in the debit side. Here, the rupee debt service means the cash required to pay back the principal and interest of outstanding debt for a particular period of time in terms of Indian rupees. Or we can say rupee debt service are debts to be repaid in rupees to foreigners by Indian residents, which will include both civilian as well as non-civilian debt. Though India primarily records its transactions in current account and capital account, International Monetary Fund or IMF recommends to record the transactions also in the financial account. The financial account reflects net acquisition and disposal of financial assets and liabilities during a given period. The sum total of net transactions under the current and capital account represents net lending or the surplus or net borrowings as deficit by the economy from the rest of the world, which is reflected in the financial account as net outflow or inflow of capital. Thus, the financial account shows how the net lending to or borrowings from the rest of the world has occurred. This is how the overall balance of payments account look likes, which has different transactions. The first major component is current account transactions. Then we have capital account transactions, errors and omissions, and monetary movements with IMF, and then resulting increase or decrease in the foreign exchange reserves. An analytical approach is to consider the balance of payments as the difference between receipts from and payments to foreigners by the residents of a country. So, balance will be equal to receipts minus payments. If this balance is zero, if we have equal amount of receipts and payments, we can say balance of payments is in equilibrium. If balance is positive, that means receipts are more, payments are less, balance of payments is in surplus. And if balance is negative, that means payments are more as compared to receipts, balance of payments is in deficit. The balance of payments always balances. Let us try to understand it with the help of example. Suppose a household cannot spend more than it receives in any 1 year without financing its over expenditure by drawings on its savings or borrowings. The amount is saved or borrowed plus household income must equal household's outgoings. In the same way, country's outgoings must equal its total receipts. Current account surplus must be matched by a rise in net external assets and a current account deficit by a fall in these assets. Thus, the balance in current account plus balance in capital account plus change in monetary movements, as we have discussed, should be equal to zero. But in reality, two sides of the account are seldom balanced because of different data sources. For this, balancing item, which is errors and omissions, which indicates the value of such discrepancies due to different exchange rates applied to receipts and payments. Let us understand why balance of payment is vital for a country. Balance of payment of a country reveals its financial and economic status. The second reason why we are interested in balance of payment statement is it can be used as an indicator to determine whether the country's currency value is appreciating or depreciating. The third reason is this statement helps the government to decide on fiscal and trade policies, and it also provides important information to analyze and understand the economic dealings of a country with the rest of the world with other countries. As you have understood that we may have balance of payment deficit or balance of payment surplus. Let us try to understand its implications on the country. So if we have a balance of payments deficit, it means the country imports more goods and services than it exports. For this, It must borrow from other countries to pay for its imports. In the short term, this fuels economic growth, but in the long term, it will have to go into debt to pay for the consumption. Whereas in the balance of payment surplus, it is the situation where the country exports more than it imports. Country provides enough capital to pay for all domestic production. A surplus boosts the economic growth in the short term, whereas in the long run, it becomes too dependent on the export driven growth. So, can you now think of few countries where the balance of payments are in deficit and where the balance of payments would be having a surplus? Let us understand what we have learned with the help of some multiple choice questions. And your question number one is, which of the following records all economic transactions in goods, services, and assets of the country with the rest of the world for a specified time period, usually a year? And your options are A. Financial market, B. The balance of payments, C. Capital market, D. Money market. And the right answer is B. The balance of payments. Which of the following are the components of balance of payment? A. Current account, B. Capital account, C. Financial account, D. All of the above. And the right answer is D. All of the above. Current account transactions in balance of payment includes A. Exports and imports of goods and services, B. Unilateral transfers, C. Both of the above, D. None of the above. And the right answer is C. Both of the above. Capital transactions in balance of payment includes A. Foreign investment, both inflows and outflows, B. Foreign borrowings and lendings, C. Banking transactions, both receipts and payments, D. All of the above. And the right answer is D. All of the above. Thank you for watching this video.